Okay, continuing with the halacha of the day, we stopped for a little bit, but we'll continue now. We're holding the halachas of tzitzis. Halacha Gimel, a tzitza from which a string tore from the 4 strings that are folded over to form 8 strings, and enough remained from it. In halacha it's called kidei aniva, allowed the tying of a bow, which is 4 thumb breadths, or if 2 strings tore, but each had 4 thumb breadths left, and the other 2 strings remain complete with the correct size, so then the tzitzis is kosher. Now, if 3 of the tzitzis strings tore, even if there remains from each string 4 thumb breadths and the 4th string is complete, or if the tear was even in only 1 thread and there did not remain 4 thumb breadths, even though the other 3 threads are complete, it is not kosher. Therefore, if 1 string tears from the 8 strings which are hanging, even if it tore completely up to the links, it is certainly kosher, since the 1 string is only half of a larger string, and there's still enough left in the other half to tie a bow and even more. If 2 strings tore and there did not remain in each 1 4 thumb breadths, then if there is the possibility that these 2 strings are really parts of 1 string, then the tzitzah is puzzle. Now, if it's certain that there are from 2 separate strings, for example, if at the time of tying them he was careful to always tie the 4 ends on one side with the 4 ends on the other side, and now there's a tear in 2 of the ends located on one side of the knot, so in this case, for sure that the tears were in 2 separate strings, and since there is still in each string the amount of 4 thumb breadths and even more on the second side of the knot, and the other 2 strings are complete, then so therefore the tzitzah is kosher. If 1 string tears at one point where they hang in the hole of the tzitzah, it's puzzle. We mentioned that if 1 string tears and the remains amount kidei aniva, then the tzitzah is kosher. This is only if all the time of making the tzitzis, all the strings were the proper length, except afterwards they tore. If, however, at the time of making the tzitzis there was even only 1 string that was slightly shorter than the proper shear, then it is going to be psula. Dalid, Yudalid, the strings of the tzitzah must be twisted, which is shizurin, and if any string becomes unraveled from its twistedness, then any unraveled part is considered as if it were cut off, and it does not exist.
It's a